Well, hello friends. Welcome back to browser hacking. So I was reading on Hacker News today about a browser called Flow, which they were reporting that they had just passed all of the ACID tests. It was here, this guy right here. And I don't know if the website works. It was kind of crowded, I guess. But this is awesome. It's like a new browser, not using any existing engine, and they're passing the ACID tests. Super awesome to see. And of course, this gets me fired up to go and work on ACID tests in the Serenity browser. So that's what we're going to do today. So I guess we'll just bring up the page and see what we can do next. So let's see. This is the current state of things. Maybe the first thing we should do is maybe we should just figure out if we can get rid of some of this red, because the red is ugly. So where is all the red coming from? Is this that background color of the picture? Div class picture is red. Okay, and I bet you that's why we're red. But why are we so red? Because we're not supposed to be red. This doesn't look entirely right here, but okay. So according to Firefox, there is a background red, but it's superseded by another rule. Background none. So it should be background none, but we're not applying that rule because it's in a style sheet of its own. Or wait, what is that? Oh, it's a data URL. Oh, wait. How does that work? Is that? Oh, it must be this thing. Okay, so there's a link element that refers to an external style sheet. But it's a data URL, so it's like the data is inline here in the href. And the rel, oh, I bet this is the problem. So rel appendix style sheet. I did not realize that rel could have multiple values, but clearly it does here. So we need to probably treat that as a split string. So let's go and do that. So currently, when the link element is inserted, we just look at the rel and check if it is style sheet. I guess the simple version here would be something like split view, split on spaces, and then contains style sheet. That should do the trick. Because then we will evaluate, we will check if style sheet is one of the space separated tokens in the string. But we're still red. Okay, let's see if we actually loaded that style sheet. Presumably it's the style sheet at the bottom here with the single rule. Class picture, background none. But this doesn't look like background none. It has background color red. Clearly. Oh, wait. Maybe we don't know what none is. We only know about display none. So what about in the shorthand expansion code where we expand the background property? Let's just, this is very hackish, but it'll be okay. So if background is none, then we will turn it into, because background is a shorthand, and none means no background, so I guess like transparent color. property ID background color oh wait, how do we do that? Color style value create. Is there such a thing as transparent? There should be such a thing as transparent. We'll add such a thing. Transparent should be a named color for sure. Oh, that's weird. Oh, named colors and always have full alpha. Well, not this one is not going to have. So I guess we can do that one first then. We'll do something like this. If named is transparent, value is 0. So 0 RGB and 0 alpha. Let's see if that does the trick. I guess it'll take a moment to build, but it seems like a pretty decent change. So what did we have here? We had the link element change to treat the link rel as a sequence of space-separated tokens. The web link rel is actually a space-separated list of tokens. So when we check for rel style sheet, we have to split it up into parts first. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. And then I guess we'll add the transparent named color. We'll say add color transparent named color. I mean, that's just useful. And then I'm just going to assume that this is correct, but we may have to tweak it. Expand background none shorthand into CSS shorthand. Background color transparent. Oh, that's very long. Well, let's not complain too much. I think it's basically accurate, although there might be more implications. The way that we apply style properties is very, very goofy at the moment. But as I keep saying, it's something that we'll clean up when we do the new CSS parser. So let's see. It's still red. Oh, now it's not red. Okay. That was weird. Wait, so why was it red after loading? So maybe we need to. It seems like the initial application of style is not good, and then the second time it's good. Okay. So don't know what's going on with that, but this looks better, clearly. We should probably figure out why it's doing the thing, though. Also, what's up with this black box around here? If we got rid of that, it would look really quite a bit better. So let's see. But what's up with the laziness of it? Why doesn't it update correctly? So how can we debug that? I guess the last piece of style that we should get is that link element with the data URL. So what do we actually do with that? We call update style. Although that comes into us like before we've parsed the whole document. So update style, update layout, sure. Do a layout and so on. Although layout doesn't seem to affect this, because you'll notice that if we resize the window, then we're forcing the engine to do a layout. And clearly it does many layouts and style is still wrong. But if we do a hover, I guess, then it pops into like correct state. So I wonder why it's like that. I guess we're applying the style too early, and we need to, something needs to be invalidated at some point. But who is it? Maybe it's when we finish parsing. So let's see, at the end of parsing, there's a nice marker here, it says the end. One thing we could do is we could just flush a style update like unconditionally at the end of parsing, because I think in most cases that will make sense anyway. It's a little bit of a blunt method, but let's see if that makes the problem go away. So do an update style after finishing parse. Alright. Click. No, that didn't do the trick. Alright, what's up with that? So do we not have the style yet at this point, and it only comes to us later? Or how does that work? Link element does this, update style. Do we need to do a set needs style update first, maybe? Because I'm forgetting that this thing is invalidation based. Schedule style update. Who calls that? Who calls it? You call it if you want to do something. Schedule style update. Okay, all right. So schedule style update, sure. You know, maybe there's a fundamental issue here with all elements starting out with valid style. Needs a style update. How do we even determine that? It's in the node. So every DOM node has a needs style update flag, and it starts out false, but really it should probably start out true, because we haven't styled them yet. So the fact that they are in a valid state when they're born, I think that's probably a mistake. Come on now. It's a little bit slow today, isn't it? Okay, yeah, that's better. So let's say that this guy libweb how DOM nodes start out with non-valid style. In these style updates. state. Otherwise, we won't get style update until you interact. Get the first fully styled look until you interact with the page via hovering an element. Do we need that parser thing still? Maybe we can do without it. Let's just see if it works without that. Wow, the parser is pretty slow to build. Let's see. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, very good. So that's that in the bag. All right, so what are we gonna try next? Let's see what we can find in the inspector. I guess that border thing is pretty weird, so maybe let's look at that. The big border around the picture element thingy. I mean, it's not a picture element, it's a div element with class picture. But he has a 1em solid border, which is black. And that doesn't look right. So let's see if we can figure out where that's coming from. So this guy, he has 1em solid transparent border. And it's coming from here. Wait, why does that not? What was the border that we thought we had? Damn it, I should have looked. Was it black or, rather, was it black or transparent? I should have checked. So the feature has, oh, it is transparent, but it's still showing up as black. Well, that's not right. So maybe we are, maybe when we paint border, we don't take alpha into account. Let's see when we render a layout box. So that would be, for the border edges, we paint them with paint border, which blah, 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 eventually calls context painter drawline. Okay. And then drawline is here. And draw line calls draw pixel. And I think draw pixel does not care about alpha. But in this case, we can even do something like very early, and we can say here, like if color alpha is 0, then return, because there's nothing to draw. So that's it's actually kind of an optimization as well, skipping any kind of draw operation or line drawing that is 0 alpha, because it's not going to show anything. So let's see if that gets rid of the border around the picture thing. Click. All right, look at that. Very nice. Now it's starting to look like, I mean, it's not really starting to look like the intended result, but it's getting somewhere. So can we get to the top? The reference rendering. I want to see the reference rendering. I think they have a screenshot or something here. compared to the reference rendering. Oh, here we are. Wait. Okay. Anyway, that is not what our test result looks like yet, but we're getting there step by step. So let's commit this. That's a really nice and small change. So graphics, return early from painter draw a line, or painter draw line can just return early if alpha 0. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that is relevant to this whole thing is that there was a patch on GitHub earlier today. Let's see if we can find it, that I merged from somebody, and I want to just remember what they were called. But basically, it was a patch that implemented support for interlaced PNG images. So in the first video I did about ACID2, I sort of postponed working on the image stuff in the test because we didn't have support for interlaced PNGs, which the test uses. But earlier today, actually 1 hour ago, but it feels like longer, somebody named Megabyte Freak, very cool name by the way, added support for interlaced PNGs. So that means that we should be able to get the eyes to show up on the test, like these very normal looking eyes here, because they are an interlaced PNG. Now, the way that they are embedded in the HTML is that a little bit weird, because they are in some object elements. So here in the eyes div, we have an object element with another object element with another object element, and these first two, I guess they have like some invalid data basically, and so I think the way that the object element works is you try to load what's in the data, but if nothing loads, or if it fails to load, then the DOM tree inside of the object element is sort of the fallback content. So if I understand this correctly, what we need to do here is this thing needs to be like, needs to fire off a load, attempt to load this data URL, and if that fails, we need to render what's inside of it. But if it succeeds, we should render it as in some appropriate way. And an object element could be like HTML, which would be almost like an iframe, and it could be an image. And I think this is how you would embed something like, or I don't know what you can embed. You could probably embed SVGs with object, if I recall correctly. I knew these things at some point in the past, but they've slipped out of my mind. Anyways, so we're gonna need a whole bunch of stuff for this to work. So let's just get started. I guess we'll start by just adding an object element class to the DOM. So that will be, who do we copy? Maybe head element? Yeah, just need to copy somebody. Actually, maybe we should copy the image element because he knows how to load something. Okay, did I mess around enough yet? Probably not. So DOM HTML object element, and how are we going to implement layout? I guess for now, the simplest way to implement the layout is probably that we would construct an appropriate layout object based on whether or not we succeed in acquiring some data. Because if we fail to load, then we need to construct like whatever appropriate layout tree for the stuff that's inside. But if we succeed, then we need to produce, for example, a layout image. So I think we'll not create a unique layout object for this, but rather we will have a DOM object construct an appropriate layout object once we know that we have everything we need. So what am I even looking at here? HTML object element. Oh wait, what did I even do here? I wanted this to be the image element. Oh crap. I just made a huge mess, didn't I? I overwrote the image element. Okay. Well, we're getting back on track. Not to worry. Okay, and this is from current year. All right, so our object element we will start in the header, figure out what's going on there. It is current year here as well. Okay, so maybe to make this easy when we're starting out, we will say that the only foreign object that we support is an image, because then we can just have an image resource client as an inherited class here. But really what we need to do long term is probably abstract out the sub-resource loading part of this into something that can be shared with like the image element and object element and iframe element to an extent, but maybe not too much. I don't know. But right now, let's just make it almost like an image element. Although we don't need alt and source. Do need data, I guess. And maybe type. So let's just add a data attribute here somewhere. Okay. And let's not think too much about animations and stuff like that. Or, you know what, let's just leave that alone. So object, and let's leave that alone for now. Okay. So we check for the data attribute. Load, well, I guess we can rename that to load data. Okay, but in our case, when we fail, what we need to do then is we need to mark ourselves as needing like style update, I guess. So set needs style update true. I don't know if we're supposed to have an error event. I don't know, let's not touch that at the moment. Or let's get rid of the events, because I'm not sure what we're supposed to have events-wise. So data and data. But if we succeed, then we can basically produce a layout tree at that point. Okay, so when we succeed, what we want to do is we want to set layout node. No, we can't. I was thinking we could get rid of the layout node. So let's get rid of animation logic, at least, because I don't want to deal with that right now. Okay, so layout image needs to be tweaked so that it can have not just necessarily an HTML image element as its corresponding DOM node, but like any element really. And oh, that's a little unfortunate, because then we can't call these guys quite as easily. But let's see. This stuff could probably be done here. So this is like the specified width. If you specify width with attributes, you say like img width 500, height 300 or whatever. That's the node preferred height, preferred width. But maybe we could do those in layout image instead. Just move them out there. It's not a huge issue actually. DOM specified width and DOM specified height, let's say. Okay, and then I'll say node dot. And so it's not just DOM specified, it's also looking at the image decoder, right? Ugh. Okay, what's a good architecture here? We want the thing that loads an image to be separated from the image element so that it can also be a member of the object element. So what if we had something that was called libraries libweb. This would be a loader thing, so this would be like an image loader, something like that. And what would an image loader do exactly? Let's figure that out. So, image element currently is a image resource client, right? So that would be his primary job, to just be the image resource client. That's his first job. So we'll be starting with that. Clickety clack. Okay, job numero uno. be the image resource client so that the DOM elements are freed up from being that. Okay, and then let's go and look at the DOM code to see what job number 2 is. So this is removed. And then instead we'll have an own pointer to an image loader. Call it image loader like that maybe. Image loader, and of course then we get that one for free. Okay, and then all of this gunk moves into image loader. So all of those virtuals, they are actually client functions. Visible in viewport. Okay. That one we may need to figure out somehow, maybe with an API. We'll put this one out of line, I think. Okay. But that's fine. Okay. And wait, what are you upset about? Oh, this stuff. Image loader. Okay, there we go. So how do we construct one of these? It'll be something simple like that. And then, actually no, you'll have to specify a URL so that we know what to load. And that's pretty good. And then maybe we can ask it for the bitmap and the decoder. So we'll figure out how to give you those in a moment. But generally that's kind of okay. Okay, so image element then doesn't need a decoder pointer because he'll get it from the loader. He doesn't need this state. And this state here, I guess this state will this will be copied over to the loader. So if there's no loader, return, otherwise and image loader set visible in viewport, visible in viewport. Okay, and then this is what we'll do in the image loader class instead. So just notifying the resource that it may no longer be visible in a viewport. Image loader, set visible in viewport. Okay, so if m visible in viewport is visible in viewport, then do nothing. Otherwise, set the thing and do your other thing, and we are good. Okay, so let's just split that up a little bit. And then, who calls this? I guess probably, oh, Canvas calls this as well. I was thinking this is only called by the layout code, but actually it's Canvas calling it. So here, what we'll do is we'll just say, if you don't have a loader, sorry. If the loader doesn't have an image decoder, again, equally sorry. Actually, we can even do it this way. Image decoder. Maybe we should have that API do this. Image decoder. And then this will just be image loader, like that. Why is that a redefinition? Well, go away. Cool. And oh wait, it's in line. I just wanted to make it out of line. Ugh. Okay. Just like that is all I wanted. Okay. And then we can simply check here if image decoder return null putter. Maybe we should even do it this way. Okay. And look at all this red over here. For animate, I guess when we animate, we can assume that we have a loader and that we have an image decoder, because if we didn't have these things, it would be very strange, since we've started an animation based on metadata from the image we loaded and decoded successfully. Regardless, it's never too weird to have an assertion, I would say. Or, well, maybe I wouldn't assert like constant numbers and stuff, but who knows? Maybe for building a compiler. Anyways, I'm getting off track, so let's get back on track. Oakley dokley, just updating some things. And then the preferred width stuff, we wanted to move that. So I'm thinking when we produce the layout node, then we'll give it a pointer to our image loader, and then the layout node, without knowing what kind of DOM node it represents, the layout image can still talk to the image loader. And then it doesn't matter if the image loader hangs off of an image element or an object element. And in the future, maybe even other kinds of elements, like picture. So we would take that in some kind of constructor. Actually, that's the wrong constructor I'm thinking of now. This one takes a URL. Okay, so image loader, he needs to actually kick off the load. Resource loader. Load resource. So this should happen. We'll do that here. Earl. Maybe there's no value in the loader object being an ohm putter. Maybe it's fine to just make it a regular inline member. I was thinking we could sometimes not have one, but at the same time we can also just always have one. It doesn't really matter. That saves us the trouble about worrying about the null state. So this guy will do that, and here we'll simply have to, but then it will be default constructed. So this will move to some kind of load API. So load, image loader load, document complete URL source. That's more like it. All right. And then load image is kind of a silly thing to have in its own function, where we can just do that. So this becomes a bit simpler. Load image goes away. And then all of these callbacks, like resource did load and stuff, they need to move. They go into the loader. So resource did load, image loader. You go here. I guess you can go here as well. Okay, so maybe the loader should keep a pointer to the decoder actually. Okay. Or how should this work? We'll see. So this thing should probably be constructed with a back pointer to what? We don't know what we don't know who our embedder is. So we can just do a hook like this. So on load, on fail. All right, and then these guys will go in some kind of callbacks for that. So we'll set those up here in image loader on load, like that, and an image loader on fail. Resource did fail. You go in the fail callback. I cannot. Oh, it's here. Okay, right. That was confusing. Okay, so if image decoder and image decoder, we'll just do this for now, for simplicity. And if we fail, then we'll do a layout update, fine. So that's pretty sensible. And then this needs to go in the image loader as well. Okay, making some progress here. Although this one is called decoder now. And I don't have such a thing as resource. Why not? Is it because a const issue? Wait, what am I missing here? Oh, the class is all borked because we didn't include function. Okay, and then we didn't actually add this API. Okay. And we'll just store the URL somewhere so that we can refer to it like that. And that'll be good. So we'll say murl is Earl. Merl. All right, that's only for debug logging actually. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe we should get it from the resource instead, then we don't need to stash it. That's better. Because the resource knows what URL it came from anyway. All right. Let's see if we can get our heads in place here and actually make this work. So I'm starting to like image loader, the way that it looks. It's pretty simple. Basically, you just construct one along when you construct your image element. It's just auto-constructed because it's an inline member. And then when you have a URL that you want to load, you just call load. And then it will call either onload or onFail in the event of, successful or failed load. Of course, we have to actually fire those. So on load here in resource did load, and when we fail, we need to fail there. Resource did fail. So let's see. I guess we should always fire onload, even if there's no encoded data. So you can just make a note of that. And we'll say has encoded URL, something like that. Okay. Maybe we will log here, resource did fail. All right, so let's go look at the image element. Right, so we made that thing not nullable, so we gotta fix that. So image loader is always present, so we can always just call through on him. That simplifies things. Image decoder, maybe we wanted to get rid of those guys. Let's tidy this up a little bit. Okay. And what's going on down here? We always have a loader, so that's fine. So we can just call through like that. Okay, and then only these guys remain. So preferred width and preferred. What if we just take those out for the moment? Because I think we're going to want to do those differently anyway. But when we construct the layout node, then we are going to provide him a pointer to our image loader. So that'll go here, or maybe at the end. Image loader. Okay, so let's give him const access to it. And then we don't need to communicate with the element about image stuff. That'll be good. Okay, so we should probably stash that somewhere. So we'll put that maybe here. All right. Why don't you like that? Oh, because I didn't make the reference Kunst. There we go. And we should really make this play a little bit better with the replaced element layout system, so that like if you dynamically change width and height attributes, we would react to that correctly and everything. But let's not overthink that right now. So let's just call this what do we call this? Like calculate width, or because it's not, I guess maybe it is the preferred width. Maybe that name was not terrible. Okay, so here we can just get the decoder like that, then we check it that way. Of course, we'll need to actually include libgraphics image decoder to be able to dereference it, but it'll still be fine. Okay, and then these guys will just be some secret private members here on the layout image. Okay. And then we don't have to call the DOM about this anymore, so that's kind of coolish. But yeah, this shouldn't be done this way. It's really weird. Renders as alt text. So this is like completely specific to the image element. So we'll check that here, like if is HTML image element node. If this is not that, then return false. Otherwise, check if we don't have an image decoder. Maybe, do I like this way of expressing it? Maybe this is a more expressive way of saying it. Okay. Here's a pet peeve of mine, by the way. If you have these curly braces on your if, you really want to have them on your else ifs and elses as well. Otherwise, the asymmetry of it is so ugly. No? At least that's how I feel. So let's just fix these guys up to just call through to the image loader. Load. And here, we will say that, let's just make one of these guys so that we can do this. Okay, so this is a little hackish, special for the image element. And likewise up here, to HTML image element node. Okay, so can we build at least? I think maybe we can't build because of the object element is probably totally goofed at this point because it went totally out of sync with the image element changes I was making. Okay, we should just start over with or maybe we can just adjust it. So we don't need load data, don't need animate, don't need that guy, don't need these guys. No. We only need image loader. That's the boy that we need here. And okay. We are failing spectacularly to compile this class, of course, because it does all kinds of stuff that we don't care about anymore. So how did we, oops, what am I even doing? Object element now needs to do an image loader, load, document, complete URL, value. Okay, get rid of this guy. We'll have to figure out what to do in these different callbacks. But when it comes to creating a layout node, we'll just, for now, we'll just make an image, I guess, passing our loader. And we can get rid of these APIs. Let's not worry about this one either for now. Don't need any of those. Okay, nice and tidy, starting to get really, really simplified here. So our object element, if our image loader has no image decoder, then we will give you a layout block, I think. Or maybe we'll even do like element create layout node. So we'll defer to the base class way of doing this, or we should really call the actual base class. But basically, we'll say, okay, I don't know how to make a layout node for this thing since I don't have an image decoder. It's a private member of web element. All right. Who can I call then? Node. Okay. Parent style. That's a little bit goofy. I wanted to call him. Why is it private? Create layout node. We should make it protected at least. Because now I want to call it. So this is a little bit more expressive. Also, it doesn't feel right to like bypass the class hierarchy in this case. Because if we were calling node create layout node, then we would be bypassing all of the classes in between the object element and the node class, which would actually bypass the element implementation, which is exactly the one that we want to call in this case. Because if we go look at element CPP, we can see what he does for create layout nodes. What element does is he just looks at the CSS display property, and based on the display property value, it chooses the appropriate layout object type to implement the layout and rendering of that node. So if it's display block, then we make a layout block. If it's display inline, we make a layout inline, and so on. So that's the thing that we wanted to call here, essentially, as our fallback. Okay. So why were we failing here in layout document? Can't const cast. Oh, because layout image might not necessarily be an image element anymore. So if layout image dot node, we have to check this. If is HTML image element. Then okay, a little bit of checking and casting. Never hurt anybody. And here we need to hook these guys up with some stuff. So on load and on fail. And I'm thinking in both cases, what we want to do is really just set needs style update true, and then do a document schedule style update. Yeah. So wait, I messed something up here. Too many stars, maybe. Oh, still too many stars. Shouldn't have put one here either. Okay, where are we now in image loader? You probably need more includes. So what if you had image decoder? Could you do your stuff? No, because you also need bitmap. Oops. Oh wait, it's still building. Undefined reference to bitmap. Okay, we can implement that. So bitmap image loader bitmap return m in bitmap or null. What is going on? Image loader, image decoder. Okay, so we need that one as well. That one seems really straightforward. Maybe it could even be in line, but at the moment it's out of line. We forgot to make the constructor. Okay. So I have a strong hunch that this is not going to work on the first try, but we'll probably need to construct some little test case and whatnot, but we'll see what we can work out. Definitely did not get that thing. So let's make a little test case. Image loader. I guess we could actually, we never even make the object element, I realized, because we forgot to hook up the factory. Tag names, object, return a duped new HTML object element. Oops, doopsie. Okay, maybe if we at least construct an HTML object element C++ object for that tag, something would happen. Maybe we'll at least crash or something. You know, I need to add add some output for this. Let's make a test page instead. So we'll call it o.html. O is for object. And what are we going to put? We'll put like file, res. What do we have in res? Res, we have icons buggy.png. That's good. Maybe we can even get, we can even do something like that. Because then we could load it like this. Okay, so it works like that. That's good to know. So let's see if we can get this to work as well. Okay, so that does not work. Sure. So what are we working with here? We have an object element with some data. Resource did load, has encoded data. That's good. But what does our layout tree look like? So buggy is a layout inline at the moment. So that part is no good. We need to actually change. We need to completely change the layout tree here. So I think there's currently no way to like blow away an existing layout node, but we probably need an API like that for situations like this. So we have set layout node. So we can have an API like clear layout node, or let's call it clear. And this will be a very very direct thing. And then we'll call that when we fail here, so, or succeed or fail, really. Clear layout node. I guess we should probably have, I feel like we shouldn't display the fallback content at all until we've either succeeded or failed the load. So we should probably have a state where we are like, we don't know yet if we can show the right thing or not. So it needs to be like 3-state thing. Maybe it'll be like has loaded, something like that. I don't know. Okay, so what are we working with? Still a layout inline. Resource did load. But this guy is still there. Maybe we'll call this like should show fallback content. Okay, so if we fail, we'll set m should show fallback content true, and it starts out false. So I guess we can have it like that, just to say. If, let's say, if m should show fallback content, if should not show fallback content, then we gotta try this. Wait, what am I even thinking about? If we have an image decoder, we should. Otherwise, okay, so I'm just trying to think like what would be the shortest way of expressing this. So if we should show fallback content, we'll just call this guy. Otherwise, if we shouldn't show fallback content, if we have an image decoder, we will create a layout image. Oh, and then we actually needed that logic that resolves the style crap. Okay, so let's try that again. So if we're supposed to show the fallback content, we'll just call to base right away. Otherwise, we will try this. But if that doesn't work, we will act as if display none was set. It's basically not produce a layout tree. Okay, and then here we'll say debug HTML object element create layout node should show fallback. M should show fallback content. Okay, should show fallback false. So it loaded successfully and it has encoded data, so we shouldn't show fallback. So what is the problem? Is it just the dimensions are? No, we didn't create a renderer for it, or a layout object. Should show. Why are we not doing the thing? Oh, wait, hold on. Will we load? We do that, okay. Should show fallback. That guy's false. Object image decoder. Well, let's see if we have an image decoder. We do have an image decoder. And this thing gets called over and over when I do that, but it still doesn't seem to attach the thing. why doesn't it get attached? So presumably we're doing this, but who's attaching it? If M node, then set layout node. Okay. So we're constructing the layout node, I think. I guess we can verify. Constructed layout, or let's just say class name. No, constructed. I just want to see something like the pointer or whatever. Okay, so we are making a layout node here. And dump layout tree. Why doesn't it stick to the thing? That's so weird. So who's calling this? Element? No. Is it U document? No. Is it layout tree builder? Probably. Okay, so we're calling create layout tree. And layout tree builder build. Okay, so who is calling this? Tree builder build this. So when we recompute the style for an element, we check if it has no layout node, and if it has no layout node, that should be us. Constructing a new layout tree for, let's do our tag name. Frickin' allergies. Why is summer a thing? Constructing a new layout tree for object. But. Wait, is it not attached to its parent? Is that what's happening here? So we're just creating the subtree, but we're not, oh. That's true. We need to actually, so I think what's happening is we remove the previous existing layout node from the tree, and then we construct a new one, and we attach it to the DOM node, but we don't add it as a child of its layout tree parent. So that's a little bit goofy. Really, the operation that we really want to do is something more like a replacement. But this code is not structured in a way that makes that easy right now. So instead of getting into layout tree refactoring hardcore here, let's find an alternate approach. So let's see. So this part is fine, but I think the cheesy way out is to just force a completely new layout tree, which we can do by just saying document clear layout node. Oh no, document. Do we have force layout? Yeah. So this will force the document to build a completely new tree. And then we don't have to deal with any of this crap. Of not being able to do, because incremental layout tree updates are like, should be a thing, but they're not a thing yet. It's gonna be a thing eventually, but we're not there yet. Okay, there we go. So if we just force a new layout tree, problem doesn't exist. It's just those incremental tree changes are not working right. Okay, that's really good. I wonder if that means that, oh, look at that. Some shit happened. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Something definitely looked different there for a moment. And then it moves around a bit. Very suspicious. Okay, so let's mess around more with creating sort of a similar scenario that to the one that they have in the ACID2. So home and on. We have O. How about we spice things up with P? Because P comes after O, I think. Pretty sure. So here we'll put some complete nonsense, like HTTP, or some protocol we don't even support, like hello, friends.com. Okay, and this will be the fallback content for that. How on earth will this fare? I wonder. So this thing should fail to load, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. It definitely didn't do what I wanted it to do. So our DOM tree looks like that. That's fine. Our layout tree is completely missing. I guess because... Oh, wait, hold on. The outer one should show fallback content, right? So should object layout node fallback. Okay, and maybe we will identify the thing here with the ID of the node. Attribute. Okay, and case home and on. We'll just call these A and B. Just so we can see who's who in the output. Okay, so A, fallback false. But it fails here. Hello friends, that fails. That part is good, but why does that not cause a reaction? Should show fallback content true. I'm feeling like this thing didn't get called. Object failed. Let's do something hackish like that. Object succeeded. I don't know. Object succeeded A. Succeeded? But the resource did fail. I think we messed up somewhere. Yeah, I'm calling onload in the fail handler. Congratulations to everybody who saw me making that mistake and have been waiting for me to to notice. That's how we noticed. look at that. It actually uses the fallback. And here, let's see, resource did load, has encoded. So it actually succeeds for this, the malwow. What the heck is that? I don't think it's intended to succeed. The malwow. Okay, well, I recognize that cat. That's Hixie's cat, isn't it? So a 404 is supposed to be considered a fail, I guess. So then we shouldn't. We should probably. This is interesting. Our resource loader will currently succeed if you get a 404, but really we could actually. We should probably fail with 404. So in the HTTP job implementation, because like websites can do like a custom 404 content page, right? But we shouldn't consider it a success. So let's see. What kind of failure states do we have? Protocol failed. So do we have the status? HTTP status, right? So that's the code. What do we do with the code? We just create an HTTP response. Okay. Did finish. Network job. What's the right behavior here? Maybe it should be finished, but with an error code. So you should be able to get the code. So the protocol client API has download finished. And we have the response headers, but we don't know. All we have to go on is the success flag here. So maybe we will include a U32 status. Because why not? Or like status is pretty good. Let's do that one. So network job has a, I thought it had a code. HTTP response has code. All right. So does anybody look at that? Did finish. He only cares about, oh, he doesn't care about that. Okay. So let's say that network response wait, what code am I even in? I want to be in the HTTP protocol implementation. HTTP download. And then here, this is the stuff I'm looking for. Right. So when a HTTP job finishes, we grab everything from the response. So we will grab set status response code. Status code? Yeah, I would call it status code. That's pretty good. And then we need to do the same thing in the unpleasantly copy-pasted HTTPS implementation. Cool. And then download just gets a U32, or maybe it'll just be U32 status code. The absence of a status code, should that be encoded? Probably. Okay, so we'll have set status code. Oh, look at this pointless braces, but I don't want to mess up my commit. All right, so now we're setting the status code. Now we just have to actually do something with that. So in protocol server, client connection, or actually no, this goes in the download class. In did finish, we call did finish download, and here is when we send a message to the protocol client, where we should now also include the download download status code, which is an optional. Right, so we will encode it as an optional in the protocol as well. So protocol client optional U32 status code. Okay, and then in the libprotocol client code where we receive this information, we can just include it. Status code here. All right, so did finish. Optional U32 status code. That goes here. And we include that. Oh. Wait, does that mean that I have to change all of these everywhere? That's kind of irritating. But I guess that's how it goes. Let's just put it at the end then. Status code on finish will now also include status code. Oof. All right. Now we have to tweak this a little bit here. So this is the resource loader, and let's say that, so if it's not successful, or if, actually, no, hold on. Let's put that here. If status code has value and status code value is 404. HTTP not found. .404. Okay. Now that was a lot of plumbing. And we'll just ignore it here for now. Probably need to fix the little pro program as well. On finish, I'll just do that. No big deal. Download. Forgot to add set status code. That one is simple. Status code is status code. All right. Right, so that was a failure that we constructed, but what about ACID2? So to malware. So this one is considered failed now. Then what happens? So these don't have IDs. We need to put some IDs on them. So so we can see who's who. It outer. So there's 3 of them nested, right? So outer, middle, and inner, let's say. Oof. Outer should not show fallback content. The middle one should, and the inner one shouldn't. The outer one shouldn't. Why? What did we load in the outer one? I already forgot. Oh, it's a data URL. I'm unsure what to do with this, actually. Why should this fail? I mean, it's not really something we can display. It's not a MIME type that we know what to do with. Should we base it on the MIME type? So we can say we can handle image PNG and image GIF at the moment. Just thinking, like, what is the actual reason that we should consider that to need fallback? So let's say that we reject it based on the MIME type. So create layout node should show fallback content. So when we succeed the load, then we can say that. Wait, why did we succeed this load? That's not an image. Image loader. I feel like this should have failed sooner, or like at a deeper level here. Resource did load. Right. But it's not an image though. But I guess it is just a regular resource. Like, we don't know what's up with that. So here we can do something like if resource MIME type, if it doesn't start with image. Now that's a problem, right? So right away we can just say, no, that's a failure. So if on fail, let's see if this is enough to let's see. Outer, yeah, the outer one still has false. Okay, we'll have to make our own little test case for this one as well. Base home anon. What's my computer doing? Recording, okay. So now we will make our own outer, let's call them like this. Outer. And this will be some nonsense thing. So text foo, not an image, bro. Okay. And oh, wait. We have to actually return here. Otherwise, we'll just go through with the success path. Duh. Okay. So now that outer one failed, middle one failed, and the inner one succeeded. So let's try the ACID test. So true, true, and false. Sure. But I'm not seeing the eyes. We're supposed to see some eyes. I wonder where they are. Let's go take a look. So where are the eyes? This container. Okay, we have the data here. Maybe we can take a look at the layout tree dump. Okay, so we have an object, object, an object. Maybe it's just hiding behind something and our Z ordering is no good, I wonder. It's a bit sad if that's the case. Because we certainly have a layout image. Let's see if we've interpreted. Wait, no, layout image, not the background. That's not what we want to look at. We have a layout image for an object element at these coordinates with this size, which sounds good. Oh, and we can actually see it's this guy right here, because he has a rectangle. Or is that not the right image? Wait, is this some other image? Okay, we have to double check that that I'm understanding the test correctly here, I think. In ACID2, or let's actually look at it here. Object. Okay, so the innermost object here has this big chunky URL. Just wanted to select it. Okay, yeah, that's the innermost thing. But what's wrong with it? Because we can see the outline of it. That's so weird. His x coordinate is like weirdly far out. Why are you at 744? I wonder. Why are you so far out to the side? Here, this guy right here is not very far to the side. Display inline, it seems fine. Wait, so who's nudging it out to the side then? If it's at 744, eyes A, the containing div, is at x70. And then we suddenly find the image at x744. But why? 744. Is the single line box in that line. Why are you there? Text. Oh, text align right. Okay. That's a bit suspicious. Does that matter? So we're right aligning the placement of the object in the parent div. Because the object is an inline replaced element, I guess. Does that make sense? Does that make sense here? Let's have a look. Display inline. Yeah. Right. So it's all the way off to the right because it's right aligned in a containing block that is very wide. The div here, our div is very wide, whereas the div here in Firefox is 143 pixels wide. So ours is like 700 something. As is the containing one. I don't know where they get that width from. Where do you get your width from? The eyes class. Eyes. Why are you 770 pixels wide, dude? Why? Width is not specified. Okay. Position is absolute. Okay. Oh, wait, it's absolute positioning. Okay, so I think we don't compute the width of absolutely positioned elements correctly at the moment. If you have a position absolute element that has a specified width and or height, it will get those values, but auto sizing of absolutely positioned things does not work right because I just didn't implement that. But even so, I feel like it's suspicious that we don't see the image. Why do we not see the image? Let's copy that gunk verbatim into a separate file and just see if it shows up. So the object, the mundo, the whole eyes, this whole line here. Call it e.html. E is for eyes. Okay, and then let's see if we can open that in Firefox. It tries the MauWau. Why don't you just fail sooner, dude? Okay, so eventually it fails and it gets that. Good. Let's try this to see if we can handle the same exact setup at least. Oops. Yes, we can. Okay, so then it's just some other nonsense that's causing us to not see them on the test. Whatever that is, I don't know. Maybe we can hack this a little bit to see if we can provoke it to come out. Text align right. If we just nuke that, maybe what would happen? Now you're over here. But where is the... Where are the eyes, dude? It's so weird. Why are we not seeing the eyes? Oh, wait, look at that. He's behind something. Who's this jerk in front? The eyes B. He's blocking the view. Okay, so that's what's going on. Why are you blocking the view, dude? And what is even an ACID? ACID. It's supposed to float away. Okay, so we don't have support for float. That's probably an issue. Background thing, also an issue. So what if we didn't have that? Oof. What would that look like for us? Let's find out. ACID. So let's just call it like a foobar. ACID. No, I guess we needed him. But why are you so mean? What if you didn't float? I mean, really the issue is that he's like coming after here and ruining everything. What if you didn't have a background? Somebody else has a background instead? Is it ACID? What if you also didn't have a background? Getting really scientific here. Okay, so ACID and ACID are both covering it. That's it. And the eyes are underneath. Oh wait, no, eyes contains it. Oh, wait, back up half a moment here. What's going on? ACID has a background that covers the image. That doesn't seem right. We should be drawing the background of this guy before drawing his children. Why would that be going wrong? Oh wait, what was I even looking at? That was not ACID, that was ACID object. Oh, wait. Oh, so it's a background of the object element. So the eyes themselves, the actual object with the eyes has a background. And we're painting that on top of the thing? That's surprising. So let's see who is painting the background. Background image. Who is painting this? Is it you, layout box? It's Mr. Layout Box. Layout box render. Paints the background image. Sure. That makes sense. But what about layout image render? Oh, dude, look at that. That's so dumb. At the very end of layout image render, we call the base. And then whatever the base does, he just paints over us. We don't want that. We want to call the base first. Really, we should be implementing paint phases, because CSS has like 12 paint phases or something. But at least we can do this. Like, let's not paint the background last. Oh man, that was a silly issue. Okay, let's see. Ooh, we got eyes, dude. I mean, they're not in the right place, but they're showing up. How cool is that? Now that oh, I guess it's the Mawa. Like, it takes a while for him to actually 404. That's a bit funny. So now, there, yeah. So now Hixie actually gets notified whenever somebody's running the test. It's a bit weird. Also, it's a bit ugly that we have that layout change when you hover at the end. Click. we're missing an update somewhere. Oh man, I guess when we actually change our minds about this, but we already do a force layout in both cases. Okay, well, I think this is pretty decent, and we have a ton of commits to make. Oh man. Okay, so let's start with the background change. So that was in layout image, in which we have made tons of changes, but maybe we can let's see, somebody was telling me I could do hunk splitting, so I guess I should try that. So let's see, if I were to press S, then I want this hunk, yes. This one, no, no, no. Okay, that was pretty cool. I like it. Hunk splitting in add-p, awesome. Thank you, people who suggested that. I am learning such cool Git tricks from YouTube comments. Like, it's super awesome. Thanks everybody for sharing. Like, it's totally improving my workflow, which is awesome when that happens. So, layout image. Fix layout image stupidly painting background over itself. The correct good boy fix here, or the good boy fix here would be to implement all of the CSS paint phases, but for now, let's at least not paint a background over our image. Okay. And then we can do the propagating HTTP status codes. So that was all the stuff in protocol server and in libprotocol. And in download widget, and probably in resource loader. I think that was the only change in there. Yes, and also in pro. Yeah, that's good. Lib protocol server plus lib protocol, or yeah. Propagate HTTP status codes to client. Clients now receive HTTP status codes like 404, 200, 404, etc. Note that a 404 is content still considered a successful download from protocol server's perspective. Not sure if this is the best API, but that's how it works right now. Actually, let's amend that a little bit and say that it's up to the client to interpret the status code. But it'll work for now. Yeah. Okay. And then what kind of change did we have in DOM node? I don't remember what that would be. Clear layout node. Yeah, I don't think we want that one. We didn't end up using it right. Yeah. So that one we'll get rid of. And in attribute names, that one we can do separately. So data to HTML attribute names. And then what did we do in element? I already forget. Just some debug nonsense. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yes to this one. I think now I just accidentally removed the making create layout node protected. So let's put that back and verify that we still build, but that change is fine. What did we change in layout document? I don't remember. Oh, right, yeah, because now layout image might not necessarily be tied to a image element. It could also be tied to an object element. I guess we can do the image element and image loader changes before we introduce the object element. So do those. That'll actually be kind of nice. So split out image loading logic from HTML image element. Since more classes, more DOM nodes are going to want to load images, object. This patch splits out the image loading logic into an image loader class that hangs is added as and then HTML image element simply has an image loader. Layout image is then given a const image loader at construction and can then provide layout and rendering for any DOM node that has for many kinds of DOM nodes. Okay, that's pretty good. And then am I forgetting about something now? I was just thinking, did we do anything weird here? But we didn't really do anything weird in this class. And then let's add the object element. The web. Add basic object element support. This patch implements a simple object element with fallback content. If the data attribute, if the URL from the data attribute fails to load, including for, etc. We instead render the DOM tree inside object as fallback content. This works by generating a different layout node for the layout tree for the object, depending on the state and success of the data load. Since we cannot currently do incremental layout tree updates, we have to Force a layout tree rebuild, a complete layout tree rebuild when the resource load finishes / fails. Right. So that's pretty good. Oh, hold on. Let's take one more look at it. But I think, oh, what are you doing? Why are you that way? I don't know what that bug is. I'd see it sometimes. It just terminal just goes gray on startup. And yeah, there's that irritating. Why does it do that? It's cool that we can see the eyes. Very, very cool. And thanks again to the guy with the cool name, Megabyte Freak, for implementing the interlaced PNG so we can actually see the eyes. But this stuff, the fact that it snaps like that, I hate it. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? When we do a force layout, then what happens? Invalidate layout. So we throw away the layout tree, sure, and then we have to build the whole thing again, yes. And that should do the trick. Why doesn't it do the trick? Do we not paint at the end of it? Yes, we do. So what comes out on the debug log when this happens? I'm kind of curious now. That's the wow thing, sure, but nothing. The wow. You jerk. Okay, I'm a little bit too tired to debug this right now, so I'm just gonna let it go. But I think we've made some really solid progress today. So let's just do a quick sanity check to see that we didn't horribly regress everything. Google still looks like Google mostly. These guys here are a little bit awkward, but they've been like that for a while. Serenity website seems to work. HTML spec, do you load? Yeah, basically loads. Looking good. Let's try something ambitious, like the GitHub page. I like to click on this link every now and then just to see how we're progressing. So many unrecognized CSS properties, holy moly. A lot of stuff to do. Okay. Hey, look at that. It's, you know, it's definitely improving. Like, it's looking a little bit more correct since last time I checked. So that's nice. Now you can actually see the file listing. That's so cool. I think previously you couldn't see the file listing. You could just see like the README. And I think the screenshot wasn't here last time either. Good stuff. All right. But obviously we have a long way to go, and let's not even get started about ACID2. But let's take a look at it anyway, just to see what happens. ACID2 does not look super great, and it crashes. Okay. But today was about ACID2. We made some decent progress, I would say. And I'm happy with it. So I think this will be the end of the video, finally. That's what I'm trying to get out. This will be the end of the video. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching and for hanging out. I hope that you saw something interesting. I think this type of work is really fun, really interesting, and it's sort of very rewarding because you can like make little steps of progress, and you feel your you can sort of feel the browser becoming better with every step. And yes, we are taking a couple of shortcuts here and there, but overall, I think we're moving in a good direction. So that's good. I'm happy that I went for the image loader separation thing instead of just hacking it together to work. And I'm glad that the fallback mechanism kind of seems to work as well. And just all these little fixes and this and that's pretty good. So yeah, it's good. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, it's so cool to see that this other browser, what's called Flow browser, that they were passing the ACID tests now. So maybe I'm not the only person in the world who thinks that you can build a new browser. That's really good. Although I saw that they were not open source, which is really sad and kind of makes it hard to take it super seriously, but still, it's something. So congratulations to those guys. And I'm going to stop rambling now. And I will see you next time. Bye.